This is Jaden's Videos, your host of the Macabre, and boy, oh boy, what a month this has been. Here we are at the end of June, and Spirit Halloween has shown us their 2023 Halloween animatronic lineup. Disclaimer, it's not everything, of course, because they never drop everything at once, but it's most of it. And this is looking like an awesome year and a big step up from last year. I'm going to talk about these things. I'm so excited. There is some truly awesome stuff this year. There's a whole mixed bag of all sorts of different things. There's a lot of things I really like. I'm excited to get into it, and I cannot believe, I've said this many times, I cannot believe we're seeing new Halloween things in June. It's so exciting, but not only that we're able to purchase new Halloween things in June, because yes, these things are not up for pre-order, they're up for purchase now, and you're going to get them within a couple days after you purchase them. That is crazy, and I don't think Spirit's ever done anything like this before, so thank you for that, Spirit. But with that out of the way, let's talk about these. I'm going to go in order. If you go on their site, under the Meet the Residents of the Spirit Hollows Cemetery tab, they have these. Some of them do not have full pages yet, and those include Hellspawn, Desmodus, Darling Dolly, and the Cauldroness. There's also another animatronic that we know about, which is the Martian from Mars Attacks, but that does not even have a page at all. These other ones I named have a page, but they don't have the pictures and videos or ability to purchase them yet. There is one that we've seen in the video, because yesterday they released a teaser, which I'm not going to go into now that we have all of the full official information yet, because Darling Dolly was shown in the teaser. However, she doesn't have an official page yet, but I will get into her probably last, because I want to go over all these ones that we've seen first, but I will get into her because I really like the looks of her. But we are going to start off with one that is a big talk of the community right now, and a lot of people are into this one. That is the Black Heart, which is a Reaper. Not at all what I don't think anyone was expecting this to be a Reaper. It's a Reaper with a woman that he has enclosed within his cloak, and then he reveals her and talks. And honestly, I love the look of this Reaper, but in reality, the thing I like the most about this is the girl. She is so creepy looking. Like, it's a really cool looking corpse. In the face and everything, she looks like an awesome corpse. This is a great animatronic. It is $300. Not bad considering it's almost 7 feet tall. And it is, I mean, it's got quite a bit of animation. Could be a little bit cheaper, but I'm not complaining. I think it's pretty fair price. It's around the same price as Little Daisy and the Maestro, other animatronics that have another animatronic, or she's not really an animatronic, but another prop intertwined with the main thing. Now, just like Harvester of Souls, this one's very much so a showpiece animatronic, which is very hard to implement in a haunt. However, it can be done, of course. I just think it's harder. But for a display, this is perfect. I think it would really be a good talk amongst people. It's a great thing that people really stop and watch, as it's a show animatronic. It actually does a full thing, and it's pretty cool. Also, the way they disguised the woman in this animatronic by having the lower half of her dress be completely black to be disguised with the Reaper is really well done. I don't know if this is one that I'll be getting. I really like the concept, but like I said, it's kind of hard to use, and so I'm not sure if I'll be getting it or not, but it is a really cool one. Creepy Rising Doll is returning. This has already been mentioned. She has an official page up now. It's the same thing as the old one from what I can see, but I just wanted to touch on it real quick just because it is a thing that exists. It is the Creepy Rising Doll's return. We have the Crypt Keeper, which is a very hefty price tag of $400. He looks great. I have never seen Tales from the Crypt. Of course, I am very much so aware of who the Crypt Keeper is and what his character is like, but I've never seen the actual show. But this guy does look great, and this is kind of a shock because they've been like teasing this thing for a couple years now. because this was one of Spirit's first ever animatronics back in the 90s, was the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt, and they've been teasing bringing it back for a couple years now. They brought it back. It's a hefty price tag of $400. This is not something I would get because I am not someone who's seen Tales from the Crypt, as I mentioned, though I would like to. I haven't seen it, so I'm not really a big fan of it, so it's not really something I'm gravitating towards. Also, with that hefty price tag, I feel like it's going to be hard for a lot of people to get it, but if you're a big fan of Tales from the Crypt, I can understand why you would want this, because he looks great. This next one is the most controversial out of all of them, in that most people hate it. Like, most people do not like this thing at all. I like it. Dagger Mike is a kid in a vintage clown costume holding daggers, and he jumps up much like little Skelly Bones. People don't like it because they don't like the look of the body and the weird proportions of the clothes, which I agree, it does look very weird. However, considering that this is one of those pop-up animatronics, I don't see how else they would have done it. And I mean, they could have fixed it a little bit, but I understand why it's like that. Really, I don't think it matters. In a haunt or a display or whatever, people are not going to stop and look at it and be like, oh, that's weird looking in the clothes. They're not going to do that. They're going to get startled by it and move on. Overall, I like it because I like the daggers. I like how he holds the daggers. I love vintage clown aesthetics, and this guy has the vintage clown aesthetic, which we don't see a lot of, so I really appreciate that on this guy. He's $170, which isn't a bad price at all. Overall, I quite like him. I don't think he's one of the greatest, but I think he's pretty cool for what he is. I feel like he has a lot of hate just because of how he looks, but ultimately, when you think about it, it doesn't really matter in a haunt or display setting because he's a jump scare prop. I mean, if he stood there and he looked like this, it would be kind of weird, but he only looks like that when he jumps up because his clothes stretch out. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. I still think he's a cool one. This next one is a great one. This is one of the best ones. This is like a top tier animatronic of this year. It is online only, which is so unfortunate, but it is really cool. I really like this guy, Stalker. This was one of the ones when the initial teaser came out, we had no clue what this could be because it was so vague. It's like, I don't even know what it is. It's a cryptic, weird creature with the head is just a bunch of teeth, and it fogs at the mouth and turns side to side. It just looks so awesome, and it's so versatile. This was pointed out. I was in a group chat where people mentioned this. I hadn't thought of this previously. He looks like an aquatic fish type monster. I mean, the teeth look like piranha teeth. He's blue. His hands look kind of scaly. That's awesome because we've never seen anything like that. I don't think that's what he's supposed to be. It leans more into him being like a boogeyman type creature. So I don't think that's what he's supposed to be. However, he works perfectly as it. He could also work as an alien creature. He can work as a boogeyman creature. He's very versatile and very cool. He's $280, and I think he's a really cool one. Not sure if it'll be one I get because I don't know how I'd use him in the near future. I don't really have any plans that would incorporate this guy, but he's on my radar just because he's really cool, and if I could think of something for him, then I'd definitely get him because he's awesome. This next one's my least favorite. I honestly don't know the verdict on this one because I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this one, but I don't like it. It's Eternal Rest, and I can tell you right away that it's obvious that this one wasn't going to be great because it's made by the same company who made the worst spirit prop of all time that came out last year, and that's Tombstone Terror. Eternal Rest is a good concept, but it looks so plasticky and fake to me, and I just don't like it. Especially the skull with the red light up eye. It looks so fake. It looks like something from Big Lots. I mean, it doesn't... I don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't. I like cemetery stuff. I like statues. This thing just isn't doing it for me. I just don't like the look of it that much. It's $140, which isn't bad. I think if you have a use for it, I think it could definitely be useful, but I don't know. Something about it just isn't right to me. Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't look right. This next one's one that I want to like more, but it's so hard to like it more for the price. This guy's name is Gordo, and I love traditional classic Halloween stuff, and jack-o'-lanterns are one of the best symbols. They are the best symbol of Halloween, objectively. We don't get a lot of pumpkin stuff at Spirit in recent years that's just a straight up pumpkin and not like a big pumpkin monster. This is really interesting to see. This guy I thought was going to be a tabletop animatronic, but he's not, but I'm fine with that. Because I personally am not a big fan of tabletops because they're very hard to utilize, because you got to find a good area to elevate them and put them on, and most people won't notice them. I am not a big fan of them. This guy is not a tabletop, but the main feature of him is a small pumpkin, but he comes on a podium. And he looks awesome. He's a jump scare, and when the top of the pumpkin comes up, you can see like the pumpkin guts stringing down. It looks super cool. I'm not a big fan of the look of the podium because it's fabric, and you can tell that from the pictures, so I'd imagine in person it's going to be so easy to tell. It is all fabric. It should have just been even just plastic or something. The same material of his Eternal Rest tombstone would have been better on this, because though I don't like the look of Eternal Rest, I like the tombstone. I just don't like the top of the statue for some reason. But this thing it's really cool. I just wish the podium was better, but really the main thing that's dragging this one down for me is the fact it's $150, and the only animatronic part is the pumpkin on top, which should be like $20 max. So I don't know why it's so expensive. It's really cool though. I can't bring myself to not like it. It's really cool. The price is just dragging it down for me. I think if it was like 80 or something, it would be more reasonable, but 150, that's a lot. Grave Watcher has returned. A lot of people are talking about this. She's a little different. She has a moving head. Her audio is different. Her candles flicker more. There's different things about her. I've never been huge on, back when she came out, I liked her a little bit, but I've never been big on her, so it's not one that I'm going to get, and it's not one that I really am excited to see return, but it's cool to see her return. It's cool to see the different things. This next one is my absolute favorite of the season so far. Now, we haven't seen Hellspawn and Desmodus, which sound like they're going to be my favorite based on what I usually like. But this guy, he's so awesome. Heckles is not what I expected to be my absolute favorite. I expected to like it, and I said this. I said a gas-filled balloon clown sounds awesome, and it is awesome because it's like a hobo sad clown. It's a sad clown, which we never get. He's literally frowning and he cries in his audio. I will say, I do like his audio. The voice is kind of weird to me, but I can get past it. He just looks so incredible, and I think that's the main thing about him. His face just looks so awesome. There's so much detail there, and he's legitimately creepy looking. I'm not a fan of monster clowns. I like clowns that are actually like creepy serial killers or something that are dressed as a clown. Just your regular creepy clown. And that's what this guy is, and he's so well done. He's up there, in my opinion, as some of the best clowns ever made are Silent and Deadly and Waving Wally. He's up there with them in that same type of creepy clown aesthetic. He's also got a really cool feature in the balloon where the face, there's a projection on the balloon where there's like a face in there that like laughs because it's filled with laughing gas or a toxin or whatever. That's really cool. There's another reason that this guy's my favorite, and it is, I would say, the main reason, because I'm biased towards it this year, but dang, I cannot say anything for 2 more days. June 30th, you'll know why. But right now, I'm not saying anything, so I'm keeping my mouth shut, but you probably already know what it is, but I'm biased towards this guy this year in particular. But he is really well done. He's really cool. This next one's one that I'm not super thrilled about. I'm a little disappointed by it. It is the Pretty Woman Leatherface. I said that the Pretty Woman Leatherface was probably going to be the best Leatherface out of every store that has Leatherface this year. I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre so much. I love Leatherface so much. I've wanted a Leatherface for years. Luckily, we have 3 to choose from this year, so no matter what, I'm getting a Leatherface. I need a Leatherface. More than likely, I'm going to get the Party City one because in terms of accuracy and detail, that one looks best. I thought that this one was going to look best. It doesn't, and unfortunately, it has the same animation as the one from Lowe's, which is the biggest downside of the one from Lowe's. And that's exactly the animation that this one has. It also just doesn't, I mean, the face looks cool. It's lacking some detail, but it looks cool. But overall, the chainsaw doesn't look great. The arms look super plastic. It's got a lot of the same issues that the Lowe's one has, and That's unfortunate because I really thought that the Spirit one would be the best, especially because the Pretty Woman Leatherface, that's very cool, very different. I'm not feeling it, and especially for $350, and it does the same exact thing as the Lowe's one, just with an added blade moving on the chainsaw. I don't love it. I also don't love the audio because the noises he makes are way too deep for Leatherface. Leatherface, like, makes high-pitched pig noises. He doesn't make these deep, raspy, growling noises that this animatronic does. I like it. I'm gonna say I like it. I think it's good, but it's not great. I think the Party City one is the top tier of the Leatherfaces this year. I wanted to like this one more. Trust me, I did. Next up is one that I am more thrilled about. We keep going back and forth, but there are some great ones. This one is Lil Jack Carver. This guy's pretty cool. He's like a little kid. I didn't even know if he was supposed to be a little kid at first, but he's a little kid who is like a farmer kid's thing. I don't know, because he's got straw for hands, but he looks like a zombie type thing. I don't know. He's just a creepy little farmer boy. And he has a pumpkin over his head, and the jump scare is he lifts it up. And he has a grotesque face underneath, and what I really like, he's got a jack-o'-lantern grin carved into his face. That's pretty cool. Really love this guy. Well, I don't really love him. I really like this guy because I don't think he's one of my absolute favorites, but I do like him. And he's one I could see myself purchasing because I gravitate towards this type of traditional Halloween stuff a lot, so I could see myself using him in a bunch of different scenarios in different years because I really like this type of thing and I use this stuff pretty often. So I think this is definitely one I could see myself getting, especially for the low price of $170 is not bad for him. I like him. I think he's a pretty cool one. I don't think he's one of my absolute favorites, but I do like him a lot. I think he's definitely up there as one of the best. Next up is one that I know a lot of people like, and I just can't bring myself to like it. I don't know why. Poor George. It's cool. It's a really cool concept, and I do appreciate the gore underneath him. I wish there was more gore on him. But for some reason, it just feels a little too weird to me. Like, I like weird stuff, but this one just feels... I don't know. Like I said, I don't like monster clowns. And this guy seems like a monster clown because he's definitely not a living person if he's cut in half and he's doing like circus acts while he's cut in half. He's definitely more of a monster-esque clown, even if he's not a full monster. Not feeling it. I like the concept, but I just don't really care for this one too much. I don't know why. This next one's really cool. This next one is Slim from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, $400. Though I do think it's more worth it than Crypt Keeper because this one's almost 8 feet tall, which is incredible. He looks just like Slim. Like, accuracy-wise, there's no issues here that I see. He may even look more accurate than Shorty does. I'm sorry, Shorty. He may look even more accurate than Shorty does. Like, he looks so cool. One thing I don't like, I don't know why they included the bag with him. Like, I know he has it in the film. That I'm not going to do any spoilers for the film, but I know he has it. But, like, that's not a very iconic thing for him to have. I think just having the cotton candy gun would have been better. Or if they had a projection effect like with Reagan last year where it projected Pazuzu's face behind her, but it projected shadow puppets behind him and he had his hands in like the shadow puppet thing, because that's his iconic thing from the film. That would have been cool. But overall, he's still very accurate, and I really like him. I want him. I really want him, but he's $400. That's expensive. We'll see. We will see. But he's one of my favorites of the year for sure. It's just, if he was like $350, I'd be like, okay, 100% I'm gonna get it. $400, that's a lot, but we will see what I decide when I see him in person. But so far, he's on my radar because he's just so cool, and he's Slim from Killer Clowns. I mean, he's one of the best clowns, if not the best clown. He might be my favorite clown. It's like between him and Jumbo. So it's very, very, it's got me. They've got me hooked. I just don't know if I can bring myself to pay that money, but they got me hooked. The last one is one that I like, but I don't love. Actually, I wouldn't even say I like it. I just think it's okay. It's Stilts, which I thought was going to be a lot cooler because the clown on stilts concept is really cool. He's not on stilts. He's just tall. My main issue with him is that he looks too cartoony. Like, he doesn't look... And this is a monster clown with the concept that I actually enjoy because I like the head twisting. It's creepy. It's the Miss Mercy mechanism. And Miss Mercy's a fantastic, fantastic animatronic. Honestly, might be one of the best of all time. She's fantastic. And this guy has her animation, which is a very creepy animation. I love the animation on this guy. But the overall look just looks a little too cartoony, a little too plasticky. Like, he's not very scary looking, in my opinion. He needs to look more grotesque with an animation like that. He needs to look... I mean, I'm going to keep mentioning him, but Heckles is the gold standard for clowns. He looks really creepy in the face and everything. I feel like if this guy had a creepier looking face, I could bring myself to like him more. But he's just too vibrant. He's too... I mean, vibrant works in some cases, like with Wacky Mole Clown. But, like, for this guy, I feel like with such a grotesque animation, he needed to be more muted, more disturbing looking. The last one I'm going to talk about, I think I just said the last one was the last one, but I forgot about this one because there's no official page for it yet. But it's Darling Dolly, and I think this is going to be one of my favorites. She's 287 feet tall, is all we know about her, and the fact that she looks incredibly creepy. She's so creepy looking. I love the look of this thing. Like, I knew this one was going to be great, because I said, 7-foot doll, that's so different. That sounds like it could be so creepy, and it is. This thing is disturbing. It's straight up disturbing. She's a 7-foot doll, and she, like, jumps down, or leans down, or whatever, but she's got these creepy long fingers, and this creepy doll head on this giant monster-like body. I can't even describe what this thing is, but it's creepy looking. Like, this might be the creepiest one this year. I love this one. We haven't seen full footage, so I can't say if I'm going to get it or not, but dang is it cool, and dang is it creepy. I legitimately think this is going to be one that's going to be scary to see in person. I mean, her animation jumping down like that, along with her height, along with how creepy she looks, this is going to be one of those ones that's really creepy in person. That is all of them, though. And there are some great ones, and I absolutely love them. But before I end this video, I do want to let you know, at the time of recording this, I haven't purchased it yet, but the time of you seeing this, I've probably purchased it. I'm buying one of these because they're on sale now. I'm buying one of these. I'm not going to let you know which yet. I'm going to keep you guessing because I do that. But based on what I've said in this video, you should probably be able to figure out which one it is. And by the time Friday rolls around, June 30th, and you look at my channel, you'll definitely know which one it is. So, not saying he's arriving on Friday, but I am saying there's going to be something that happens on Friday which is going to make you know, okay, this is the one he got. But yes, I am going to be purchasing one of these. So take a look at the channel within the next week to see a review and unboxing one of these. And be sure to check, because I've mentioned it so many times, I would feel awful to not say it again, because I have to say it, I have to promote. Check the channel on June 30th, because there's something coming your way. And it's strange. I hope you all enjoyed. Here lies Halloween.